Well, good evening, everyone. This is Mother Teresa, and it's time to grandstand with Mother Teresa. And as I stated, I do have a guest with me on tonight. And tonight, my guest is none other than my oldest daughter, Miss Rhianetris Culpepper. Miss Soul Pepper herself is joining me on tonight. And tonight, we're going to be talking about cooking and mealtime traditions. So we're just going to have a conversation. We're inviting you into my kitchen with me, and we're not going to prepare a full course meal. We're just going to show you some of the prep work that we are doing as we get ready to have our Thanksgiving meal with my family on tomorrow, the CaldPeppNard Crew. Welcome, Net.
Hello, glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yes. So stay tuned as we get started. And again, like I said, we're not preparing a full meal, but we're just going to share with you all some of the sides and some of the dessert and a side that we will have for tomorrow for our dinner. So tonight is cooking and mealtime traditions. So as I can recall, when I was a little girl, that during the Thanksgiving holidays, during the Christmas holidays, my mom would get in the kitchen and she would just be cooking all kinds of good stuff. The food would be smelling so good. The kitchen would be smelling so good. And I tell you, we could not wait to get into that food. Now, I have to tell you, now my mom, she did start cooking probably a couple of days before. Like she would make her cornbread like the day before.
7 days before?
Well, I don't know about 7 days before, but she might, kind of do some things before, not necessarily like a week in advance or months in advance where she would cook the cornbread and she would freeze it. I don't think she did all of that. She may have cooked it, like I said, the day before, put it in the refrigerator, and then, or either just mixed everything up like the night before so it can, all those seasonings to go together and everything like that. And then, of course, she would get up that morning and then she would put it in the oven. But I can remember the smell of the onions and the bell peppers and the, what else would go in there? The celery. And she would cook that in butter. She would saute that in the butter. And when I said it smells so good, y'all, it smelled so very good.
And I still do that same thing.
You do the same thing? Okay, all right.
It'll be smelling like that in the morning.
Okay. So, hey. And I'm going to tell you, Net uses my mom's recipe. So I think everybody uses my mom's recipe that's in the family that cooks the dressing. I know Aunt Carolyn, she normally cooks the dressing and she uses mom's recipe. And let me tell you all, those recipes, if you have those recipes that were handed down to you from like your parents or your grandmothers or your auntie or different, some of your, like they say, the big mama nims and the different things like that. If you have those recipes, make sure you are holding on to those recipes. Keep them. And as I was talking to my mom yesterday, we talked about her recipe. We talked about one of her recipes because I told her that I was going to be putting together a cookbook. And so I asked her for permission to use some of her recipes for the cookbook. And she gave me permission to use some of the recipes. So, in one of the recipes that we're going to be showing you all on tonight that my mom cooked with me growing up is yams. So, I have my yams here. My husband has already washed them and gotten them prepared for me. And let me just tell you, when I was growing up, I didn't do a whole lot of cooking. Not that I couldn't cook, but I didn't like to cook. And plus, I really didn't have to because Grace either did it, most of the cooking, or my brothers did the cooking, or my mom did the cooking. So we just kind of stood back and we just kind of watched. But I do know that for yams, basically we just use some yams where we're gonna slice them up and put them in the oven. And these are just a few of the things that I put in. It's not a whole lot of things that I put my yams, put in my yams. Sweet potatoes. Some people call them sweet potatoes. Some people call them yams. I guess once you finish cooking them, they become candied yams because you put all the stuff in there. But I just put a stick of butter in there. I use my ground cinnamon, and my mom used ground cinnamon. But when I met my husband and his mom, she would make her sweet potatoes. She would add nutmeg to it. And I like the flavor of that nutmeg, so I actually use both. I use a little bit of nutmeg, cinnamon. Of course, you got to have some vanilla extract. Is I'm saying it right? Okay. You need some of this. Now, I don't necessarily buy a lot of times name brand. My family can tell you I am very frugal. And so to me it tastes the same. But if you have to have I don't even know the brand. McCormick, okay. So if you need that, get that. But this is great value and it tastes great, okay? And of course, I have a little bit of salt that I'm going to put in there and brown sugar. And that's all that I put in my yams.
And harmony.
Oh, yes. Let me tell you. Nick, you can put that down. So let me tell you. So again, I said my guest tonight is Miss Soul Pepper. So Miss Soul Pepper, if you look right over there, you can see soul peppers. And soul peppers, I'm going to let Annette tell us about soul peppers.
Oh.
While she's mixing up, what are you cooking, Annette?
Oh, I am doing the no-bake classic cheesecake, my specialty.
Oh, it's good, y'all.
It is.
It's good.
Now, I don't like strawberries on my cheesecake, so it's just a plain Jane cheesecake. So, we about 2 weeks ago, Soul Peppers came out with Harmony. And Harmony is a salty sweet type thing. And so I had did some chicken, baked some chicken. It was good. But last week, Mama put some Harmony on her sweet potatoes. I can't tell you how it tastes because I don't even eat sweet potatoes. I don't eat sweet potatoes, yams, or any of that. But Mama said it was wonderful.
Let me tell you all. Okay, so tonight we're talking about cooking and mealtime traditions. And so when you're thinking about traditions, I think about when I used to go to fellowship. That's where my grandparents lived, my Big Mama and Big Daddy. And so Big Mama and Big Daddy had a farm. And basically, on their farm, they raised and they had this huge garden. So they raised all kinds of vegetables, and they had hogs. They had hogs and pigs, that's the same thing. So they had chickens, they had rabbits, they had all this kind of stuff. But one of the things that I can remember that Big Daddy used to do is he would take the sweet potatoes and he would bake them in the oven. So we would, a lot of us are used to having just the baked potato that is like the white potato, but we would have a lot of times the sweet potato that was baked. And of course, what they would put on it would be, of course, butter and a little bit of brown sugar and different things like that. And just eat it like that. Well, fast forward to Harmony. I had a baked sweet potato last week. And what I put on my potato was butter and Harmony. And let me tell you all, it was delicious. So if you haven't picked up your Harmony, this is a shameless plug for Soul Peppers. So if you haven't purchased your Harmony, you need to get your Harmony because not only, like Ned said, it has that sweet, salty flavor that pulls both of those together, but it was delicious on my baked potato. Okay, so anyway, but going back to the traditions, growing up, I remember on the weekends, if we spent the night in fellowship, I know I'm supposed to be doing some cooking, but I'm going to get to it, but I'm going to tell y'all some stories first. So growing up in fellowship with going to my grandparents' house, one of the things that Big Mama would often do if we were there, if we spent the night there, you need a what?
A spoon. I'm good.
Okay. So if we were spending the night there, basically what Big Mama, her breakfast was the same, I think, every weekend. So if we went and we spent the night that Saturday night, that Sunday morning, we knew what we were going to have for breakfast. It was going to be fried chicken backs, rice, homemade biscuits, the syrup that my granddaddy made from his sugarcane meal or whatever, or either, and I'm not going to say or either, but we may also have what you all call salmon croquettes, but we called them back in the day mackerel. So that was the breakfast that we would have every single Sunday if we spent the night with Big Mama. And it was the most delicious breakfast, you all. It was a lot of us, and those chicken backs, I don't think I've ever had a chicken back other than the fact that my grandma cooked it. But we would have all different types of food, and you know, when I lived with my mom, and we would go to visit with my grandparents. And that's one of the things when we're talking about mealtime traditions and cooking. My mom would often say that they were very rich in food. They were rich in love. They never went without any food because my grandfather had this huge garden and this huge farm. So not only did they provide food for their family, but it provided food for the community. He would sell some of those things, the products that he would have in his garden. And of course, lots of people worked for him. Matter of fact, I found out that I asked my mom, how did she meet my dad? And she told me that she met my dad because he worked for my grandfather. And so my husband's in the background, and so I don't know if that's the first time he just heard this story. But you know how sometimes you want to know, and I'm going to tell you, a lot of times when you're cooking, you're talking, and you're learning some of the secrets and some of that, well, I ain't going to say secrets, but you learn some of the things about your family. So when we're talking about cooking, it brings us together. What you're doing is you're making memories. You're having just a good time. Yes, bringing families together. So I definitely believe that when you're cooking and you're talking about mealtime traditions. Hey, Rhonda. Hello, Sister Sherry. Hello, Candace. Candace said, I had no idea. Neither did I, Candace.
I found out when you found out.
Yeah, exactly. But guess what? If you don't ask questions, you're not going to find out. My dad died when I was so young, and so I didn't have a chance to ask him a lot of questions, but my mom is the person that I needed to ask those questions, and I wanted to know, how did you all meet? And so it was because he worked for my granddad. And so all of you all that are on here, listen, what are some of the mealtime traditions that you she done made this pie, this cheesecake that quick. Well, it's called quick cheesecake, right?
It's called no bake.
Oh, no bake. Okay. No bake, quick cheesecake.
Yeah,
She's already made it. But what are some of the traditions that you all have growing up, you know, with your family or your grandparents? What are some of the things that you all did when it came to cooking or some of the mealtime traditions? You know, again, I talked about some of the things that I did with me growing up. But Nick, what are some of the things you remember?
I can remember, and I was talking about this today on Facebook, I can remember going to Big Mama's house, Big Mama Eigner's house, the day, so of course it was on a Wednesday before Thanksgiving. And it seemed like we spent Wednesday through Friday at Big Mama's house. And I can remember Wednesday night going into Thursday, my aunties and mama would be in the kitchen just cooking, and they would just be laughing and just having a good time. The kids would be kind of running around everywhere, and us teenagers, we was probably babysitting the kids that was running around everywhere. But we really did that, where we had it and everything was cooked. And I honestly thought dressing took 5 days to make until I started making dressing a few years ago. And but it seemed like the dressing, but when I tell you, like, it was made, the whole dinner was made with love. And then so we would sit down and eat that Thursday, and then right after dinner was served, I can remember my mama and my aunts all looking in the newspaper at the Black Friday sales that they were getting ready to go to. Now, back in my day, which I'm not that old, but back in my day, the stores were closed. They opened up the next morning, Friday morning. But now, they're open while we're up here eating. But I can just remember, and so with me remembering that, one thing that I've done, my kids and Teddy, on Christmas, Thanksgiving, and I believe Easter, they already know what smell is going to come out the kitchen because I cook dressing for Christmas, Thanksgiving, and Easter. Mm-hmm. But when they wake up, they just automatically know that's the smell of a dressing being cooked. Now, my kids, they were not really in with me in the kitchen cooking. Like, they would do like baking and stuff like that. But I really didn't really start cooking until a few years ago, like really cooking, because my aunts was still the ones cooking. Mm-hmm. But now that they're getting a little bit older, it's kind of like we got to do the cooking now. Right. And like, I can't tell you when the last time you made a dressing.
Oh no, I don't typically do it. Let me tell y'all, since Net has started making dressing, Net is pretty much the person who makes dressing for our family.
Yeah,
I make the dressing. And it tastes just like mine. It tastes just like Mama's. It tastes just like Aunt Carolyn's. So they're younger, so I let them cook. Yeah. Remember I said I can cook, I just don't like to cook.
We put in the request for Mama to make greens.
Yes.
And then I think Candace likes the candy yams, or somebody else. I know Teddy does. But yeah, what else you cook, Mama? Y'all, I remember one year. This was our first year down here. Y'all's first year. You burned the turkey.
Yes.
It was the color of your dress.
Yes. Yes.
She hadn't cooked the turkey anymore. I went and picked up the turkey today.
Yes. But what did I do after I burnt the turkey? What did I do?
I can't remember.
See, y'all don't never remember that part. I cooked another turkey.
You did.
I cooked another turkey.
She had another turkey. I don't know where it came from.
I'm a mama. I keep those things, and I know how I am. I cooked another turkey, y'all, and it was good. It was really, really good.
I think we ate the turkey by itself because it took a minute to cook.
It did, but it's okay.
Yeah, we had another turkey.
Y'all had another turkey. Sister Sherry said on Saturdays they would have hamburgers and French fries and
Rennie said she remembered that burnt turkey.
I think everybody remembers the burnt turkey. See, here's the thing, y'all. Everybody remembers the burnt turkey, but they don't remember the second turkey that I cooked that was not burnt, that they actually ate.
I think because we were still appalled by the first burnt turkey.
Well, let me tell you.
We have a picture of it. We'll have to find it and post it tomorrow.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Okay. Listen. Hello, Brother Spencer. So glad that you joined us on tonight. And also, of course, Rhonda, my cousin. I also saw Pastor Scott that's on here. Listen.
Candace said she remembered.
She remembered. Okay. Rhonda, you remember some of the food that we ate when we were in fellowship? Brother Spencer. And I know Brother Spencer is a cooking man. So, Brother Spencer, what are some of the meals that you've prepared? Pastor Scott, I know you like to cook as well. And so what are some of the meals that you all have cooked? And what are some of the traditions that you all do with your family while you are cooking? And I think this is what I definitely know is that when you're in the kitchen cooking, you are developing relationships, you are creating memories, you are creating hopefully memories that'll last a lifetime. And a lot of times what Net was saying about it took like 5 days or 5 hours or whatever for the dressing to cook. Well, it wasn't necessarily that it took so long. It was just that we were having fun. Mm-hmm. We were having fun with my sisters and my siblings, all of us just being together.
Grandkids running everywhere.
Right.
Big mama sitting in the living room with her legs crossed because she didn't have to cook.
Yes.
She'd come in the kitchen occasionally, check, y'all need anything? All right, I'm going. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was just that together time. It was just that time that we spent together. So again, like I said, it wasn't that it took that long for it to cook or for us to prepare, but we were just kind of coming together so we can, have that time together, because, as you become an adult and you move away from your siblings, I often say I love being able to go home and share time with my family. And just because it just puts us back to, for me, it's like when I was a young child. And so, having that opportunity for us to be able to be together, it just does my heart so very glad. It definitely does my heart so very glad to be able to do that. My family doesn't know it, but I have a new tradition for us to start tomorrow. Okay, Candace. Okay, let's see what you got, Candace Caldwell. We're going to see what she's got. Like my husband said, precious memories. There are some things that, as a family that you can do. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money, you all. And the thing about it is when you're making memories with your family, don't think that it always has to cost a lot of money or any money at all.
Memories are priceless.
Memories are priceless. You're absolutely right, Ned. I don't know how you using that thing, but okay. But you making it work. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, it is priceless. It is, and they're precious. And I often say, one of the things that I do know is that when you're with your family, you all be with your family, be in the moment with your family. I know we all have our devices, and I know we all have, our like I said, our devices, but make sure that sometimes you put them down and that you are actually spending time and being in the moment with your family, because guess what? When that time is gone, it's gone. Mm-hmm. It is gone.
That is
and
true.
So, so make sure that you're doing that. Mm-hmm. You want me to do that, Ned?
Yes.
Okay, let me do it.
I'm not a pillar.
Okay, she's not a pillar.
I'm not a pillar.
Okay, Ned, talk to the people. Tell them about Soul Peppers.
So, while Mama is doing that, I'm going to show you real quick. You're good, Mama. So, we do have Soul Peppers. We have the 32 ounce. And this is the original. Now, the 32 ounce can come in original, and it can come in lemon pepper. It can come in harmony, low sodium, or spicy. This is the only one that is only one bottle that all of them can come in. Only this one. Then, of course, we have harmony. They will experience this tomorrow. And starting next week, I'm going to start getting ready to pass out or kind of distribute harmony samples. And so we do have some little sample bottles. They are too cute. They are too cute. And then, of course, we have original. Okay. And then we have,
hey, Vicky.
Then we have lemon pepper. So, y'all, anytime that you all want to put in an order for Soul Peppers, please just inbox me. Give me a call. It's always really available. And here is our little sample bottle. Okay. So I appreciate everyone for supporting Soul Peppers, and Mama is over here with her sweet potatoes. Here is my, hey Vicky. And so we are excited about tomorrow. I think tomorrow we're going to paint.
Oh, we may be.
I think we're painting tomorrow.
We may be.
Possibly.
Painting
tomorrow.
If not tomorrow, then we're definitely doing it Christmas. My husband said Christmas if we don't do it tomorrow.
And we usually the Christmas tree is usually already put up.
Yes. But let me tell you all, again, our family is growing. We are the CaldPeppNard Crew. And it's our three families together. What we have done is, of course, my favorite time of the year is Christmas. Not just because it's my birthday, but because, again, we typically see, I say, the best in mankind. And so because of that, I really like to go out and decorate for Christmas. And so what we've started doing is now they come and we all try to do it together. So the grandkids will come over. Like last year was a year, but last year when my was going through it with my foot, did Candace come over? No. Net and everybody came over. I think Chase is now old enough where he comes out and he helps us put up the tree. And so we have my tree that we need to do before the end of the week, and we have Net's tree that needs to be done before the end of the week, and we have Candace's tree that needs to be done at the end of the week.
I think Candace's tree is going to be the most fun tree because she has two little ones that do not touch the tree.
Right.
So I can't wait. I can't wait for them to even see the trees. Even, of course, last year they saw the trees, but they didn't really bother it. But this year I know they're ready. You think they're ready?
I think they're ready.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let me tell you.
I know they're ready.
They're ready because let me tell you, if you all haven't been following me, first of all, if you're not a subscriber or you're not following me, please like, share, and follow me not only here on Facebook, but also on YouTube. You've seen some of the videos. We have a new, thank you, Nit, for going to pick up Dancing Chris. We had to change his name rather than Santa Claus. Chase named him Chris, but Chris dances. But it's a life-size, almost 6 foot tall.
I'm going to talk to Chris in just a minute.
Okay.
I've never met Chris.
Okay.
Well, Chris is over in the corner.
Chris is over in the corner. Chris is probably watching us as we are speaking. And so, but Chris, Dancing Chris only moves if you move him, okay, or if you push the button. But Chase was a little bit skeptical of Chris, but Candace's babies looked at Chris like, what you gonna do, Chris? Especially Bean. Bean was like, what you gonna do, Chris? We gonna dance or we gonna fight? I guess we gonna dance. And then, of course, Avie, she had to do a little bounce with Chris. Like, come on, Chris, let's do this dance. So I think they're ready for Christmas. I think they're ready. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we're, again, first of all, thank you all so very much for the ones that joined us on tonight. If you would please share this video. We came on tonight rather than last night because we were with my mom in Nacogdoches. But I wanted to make sure that on tonight, what we did is, because we were talking about cooking and mealtime traditions, is that I had my family here with me. I was hoping that Candace was able to come, but Candace has those little babies at the house. So Net was able to come over with me and to join with me so we could talk about some of the traditions that we had growing up. I talked about some of mine. Net talked about some of hers. But you all listen, again, as I stated, make sure that you are spending time with your family. That's one of the things I talk about a lot, is just making sure, when I talk about grandstanding is all about, spending time with your family and doing things with your family to make those memories. We're only here but for a short period of time. And when we're gone, those memories hopefully will linger on. But I always want to make sure that my grandkids and my children know that and the rest of my family, that I enjoy them so very much. And so we make an effort to spend some time with them and to make sure that we are creating space for them and holding space for them. And you all do the same thing, okay? Do the same thing with your family. Make sure that you are spending time with them, holding space for them, and just enjoying them. So as we are wrapping things up, because grandstanding is only for 30 minutes for right now, as we are wrapping things up, we just wanted to say you all have a great Thanksgiving. Spend time with your family. Enjoy the foods that's presented before you, put before you. And
be thankful.
Be thankful.
Be thankful for your family. Just be thankful. Mm-hmm. This is a season of thanks. Mm-hmm. And sometimes we oftentimes get consumed with what we do not have, that we forget to be thankful for the things that we do have.
Right.
And that's what we're trying to definitely teach the children. And sometimes we have to remind the adults to always be thankful for what we do have.
And as Net was saying that, you all, typically I have my music comes on as we are going off the air. I'm going to see if I can find it. And the reason why I play this music, you all, as I talk about my family and I talk about the CaldPeppNard, you know, I am so very grateful for TJ Culpepper. That young man created this music for me. I asked him to create this music for me, and he did it, and he did it so effortless, without any effort at all. He just creates all this amazing stuff, and I'm thankful for TJ. I'm thankful for grandstanding. I'm thankful for the opportunity to always come before you, even if it's just for 30 minutes. You all, thank you for grandstanding with Mother Teresa and
Me.
Net on tonight. If you need some soul peppers, I think she's having a sale right now. You all get with Miss Soul Pepper and get you some soul peppers, because if you're serving Thanksgiving dinner without it, you're missing a treat. See y'all next time. We'll see you next Tuesday. Bye-bye, everybody. One more. And I'm going to have to stop this. So I need to push finish. But thank you all for being here with us on tonight. Yes, right here.